Good morning. Every year, more than 500 million Hindus, we go to temples to worship, to pray. We offer nature in its purest form, that is, flowers to our gods. But hardly does anyone think what happens to these flowers afterwards. Sadly, these sacred flowers are dumped into water bodies like the river Ganges to respect their sanctity. Every year, we Indians put in about 8 million tons of waste flowers in the river Ganges. Flowers that are loaded with pesticides, flowers that rot, flowers that create a havoc in the fragile ecosystem of the water body, finally leaching into the groundwater, causing irreversible damage. Researchers have linked this with causes of severe dysentery, cholera, hepatitis, which is one of the leading causes of child mortality across India and Bangladesh. The sheer volume of flowers is overriding the biophysical stability of the river Ganges, affecting lives of more than 420 million people. While I was working as an automation scientist, I had no clue about all of this. I have a Czech friend, his name is Jakub. He had come down to India and I took him to the ghats of the river Ganges. We sat there for about an hour and he started counting. He counted around 147 people, including women and small children, taking a dip in the water. The water was so dirty that we didn't even dare touch it. He asked me, if you worship this river and it's so holy, why is it so dirty? I told him there are so many reasons. There's fecal sludge, refuse from tanneries, open drainage. Everything used to get into the river at that point in time. He said, why don't you do something about it? I was like, this is not Europe, this is not America, this is India. And even if I want to do something, I cannot start. And the moment I said this, a nearby temple dumped in a temple full of flowers in the water. And I was amazed. I've seen my parents, grandparents, we all put temple flowers either in the river or we leave it at the temple compound. I went back to my job and 3 weeks had passed and I couldn't sleep. I decided to dedicate my life towards temple flowers. I invested the 9,000 rupees, $900 that I had and started this company called Fool. Fool means a flower in Hindi. And we made the world's first charcoal-free incense. Normally, an incense stick is made from charcoal. We replaced the charcoal from incense. Today, we are giving a rebirth to the jaded category of incense sticks across the globe. It's a $6 billion market. Today, we are one of the highest selling incense online in the country, in India. Let me quickly walk you through what happens every day at Fool. Our vehicles go to temples in 5 cities in India. We collect around 22 tons of flowers from these temples every single day, bring them to our facility where firstly all the recyclable waste, which is paper, plastic, everything is segregated. Then these flowers are segregated depending upon their species and carotenoid level. Finally, they're sprayed with our own organic bioculum to offset any organophosphate, any pesticide residue that might be there. Then these flowers are thoroughly cleaned, finally sun-dried to be converted into products. Now, on the slide, what you're looking at is styrofoam. Styrofoam is the 5th biggest pollutant on Earth, and as of now, mankind does not know a way to recycle styrofoam. You need to either burn it or you need to leave it under the ground where it stays for at least 1,000 years. This incense has a limited market. I want to actually solve the flower problem. And for that, I needed bigger markets. I had this crazy idea, why can't we make styrofoam from flowers? People laughed at me. And these were the initial experiments that I conducted. I'm happy to share that today, we call this material florafoam, made from flowers, an alternate to styrofoam. It has completely taken shape. It is bioengineered. You can fine tune it for its mechanical properties like the shape, size, tensile strength, elasticity. This is a packaging for one of the India's leading appliance manufacturers. This is a packaging for their fan motor. Now, my city, Kanpur, is infamous for its leather. And I know this slide is very gross. Each time I look at this slide, my stomach churns. But think of this. These animals were slaughtered for their meat and the leather. The leather and the livestock industry are tightly coupled. These two industries consume around 27% of Earth's fresh water supply. Around 30% of Earth's greenland mass is gone to this. And in return, this gives the highest methane emission on the planet. I'm happy to share that we have found a way to even convert temple flowers into a material that behaves exactly like animal leather. We're calling it fleather. You can fine-tune this material to anything that you want. This is bioengineered, completely made in India. We're putting India on the roadmap of biomaterials. We have raised around $12 million invested into building the complete R&D facility, currently supplying to two of the leading fashion brands. You can have any kind of tanning, any kind of finish, ostrich, buffalo, or snake, anything you want. Now imagine a cow. It takes around 3 years for a cow to grow to its full size. Then it's slaughtered for its hide. And even of that slaughtering, about 70% goes to waste. We do the same thing in our lab in around 3 weeks. Now, this is the same ghat that I take in Cuba like 7 years back. We ensure that not a single flower goes into the water in my city today. So there's more. So, yeah. So is the choice of people that we've been able to employ is closest to my heart. So in India, there are about 1.6 million manual scavengers. Manual scavengers are people who jump neck deep into clogged sewers and scrape human feces from dry toilets. They're outcast and treated as untouchables. It's a very taboo subject. People don't even want to talk about it. At Fool, today, we employ around 523 women full-time. This radical idea does not only give them a disease-free livelihood, but a life of dignity and respect. I'll quickly just share about Prema. So it had been like almost 7 months when we had started. This is an old picture. And one day, after working with Fool for about 6 months, Prema started distributing sweets in the factory. And I asked her what happened. And she said that today I'm very happy. So I bought a refrigerator. I told her you have on a refrigerator on EMI loans. I told her that you've already taken a loan. Why do you want to waste money on sweets? She said, even if I give half a sweet to everyone, I'll give sweets. So then she told me when she was 19 years old, the place where she used to clean the toilets, she asked the owners to have cold water. But the people didn't want her to touch their utensils, so they didn't give her water. At that point in time, she decided someday she will have her own cold water. After working with Fool for about 6 months, not only was she able to save enough money to buy that refrigerator, she said that this morning, my so-called upper-class neighbors, their children came and had water from my refrigerator. So now my children are equal to their children. I can die peacefully. So my work is not just about cleaning waste on the lands. So my work is not just about cleaning the waste on the lands, but it is also about cleaning what our earlier generations have done. Thank you, I'm Ankit. Thank you for listening.